Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're listening, thank you so much for listening on the podcast. My name is Cassandra, professional home organizer, but I like to help people with so much more than that to help you declutter and organize all areas of your life. So, on this channel, I'm going to give you just that. And today, I want to give you some tips on procrastination and time management because that seems to be one of the most difficult things that people have is procrastinating on whatever that they need to do. And then they're not able to manage their time and just end up sitting and scrolling all day thinking they don't have enough time. But in fact, it's not exactly that. It's because they procrastinated so long on the things that they didn't want to do that they realized they didn't have any time left. So, I want to give you my top 5 tips on how to slay your day, stop procrastinating, and get a lot more done. Now, the way that I learned how to do this is number one is because I joined a 75 hard program. Now, it's not a program, it's a challenge. So, if you guys have ever heard of 75 hard challenge, essentially for 75 days, you do two 45-minute workouts a day. One has to be outside and they can't be back to back. If you live in Ottawa, Canada, or anywhere where it's cold, you'll know that it kind of sucks to be outside in the winter, especially during blizzards, which I walked through yesterday. But something about it was super peaceful, although I would definitely choose the sunshine and the warmth over snow and blizzards any day of the week. Now, with this challenge, I also have to read 10 pages of a personal development book every single day or something educational, which has been really amazing because I've learned to love reading. You have to drink a gallon of water a day, which, yes, I have to pee like every 5 seconds. I'm not even joking. You have to follow a diet, take a progress photo every day. No sugar, no alcohol, no cheat meals, and you have to follow a diet. So, the reason that I chose to start this is because I would binge eat on junk food every day, all day. I wouldn't eat proper foods. And I was drinking like 4 Pepsis a day. I gave up energy drinks, which I was drinking 2 a day for 3 years, and then I swapped it with Pepsi, and lo and behold, in a month, I gained like 15 pounds and my whole body turned to cellulite, so that wasn't very fun. I knew I needed to do something, and a New Year's resolution of going to the gym wasn't going to be enough for me to create enough change that I wanted to, so I started the 75 hard day challenge, and I'm almost done. I am so excited, but I'm gonna do it again because I really want it to stick. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because when you insert new things into your calendar or into your life, you make time for those things. And if you don't have the time, well, you have to sacrifice other things to make it work. So, fitting in the time for those two workouts, for drinking the water, for meal prepping, grocery shopping, and reading my book, it required me to really change around my schedule. So, another thing that I another way that I learned how to manage my time better and fight procrastination was this little guy right here, Eat the Frog. I definitely recommend this book. It's very short, easy to read, and there's so many good things in this, and I'm going to share a few of them with you today on this episode. So, 5 tips for better managing your time. Number one is to plan your day the night before. Write out everything that you have and want to do the night before so that you get an idea of what your day looks like. Then you can start by putting an order when you need to get things done. Then you can start crossing off the list of things that you feel like you won't be able to get done that day so that you don't feel like a failure after tomorrow comes. And at the end of the day, you're like, I didn't get half my list done. Well, because you set yourself up for failure. So if you plan out your day the night before, you write it all out, including even when you drop your kids off from school and pick them up, and your commute to and from work, and when you have to cook dinner. Add it all to your calendar because you're going to see when you have like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes in your time schedule to fit in the things that you want to do or need to do or those obligations, and you'll realize that you actually do have a lot of time. It's just about how you're spending it. And if you feel like right now, the time that you wake up, you don't have enough time to get everything done that you want to and have to do, then maybe you have to start waking up earlier, which is what I had to do. I was sleeping until 7 o'clock, pressing snooze twice, so about 7:30, and then I was rushing around like a chicken with his head cut off every single morning, and then every single morning I was late. And I wasn't eating breakfast. I wasn't even preparing or bringing anything for lunch. Chocolate bars, bags of candy, Pepsi. That was it. Very ridiculous. I'm glad those days are done. But let me tell you, the struggle was real. So, the tip number one is to plan your day the night before to set yourself up for success. You're gonna thank me. Number 2 is to input all of these tasks into a app on your phone. The one that I use is called Structured. It's amazing. I also suggest adding appointments and everything into a different calendar as well. I use the Google Calendar on my iPhone. So when I do that, I also add reminders and alerts and timers just so that I make sure I don't forget that they're coming up. But with the app Structured, I have synced it to my Apple Watch. So every single time I have a new task, or 5 minutes before the task is about to begin and then a new one is about to start, it pings me. So sure, those pings they go off like a million times a day, but it keeps me focused. It's kind of like having a personal assistant saying, "Come on, you're going to be late for your meeting. Come on, you have a meeting with so and so. Come on, you got to go pick up your kids. Oh, you're going to be late. You better hurry up. You got 5 minutes." It keeps me on task. And it also I'm someone who's like all or nothing. When I get into the zone, I could stay there for hours and hours and hours and hours. So this is really important to keep me on task. I have to really just tie everything up when my timer goes off and just move on to the next thing. So it allows me to create time boundaries, which is really great as well. So if you're wanting to spend more time either by yourself, with your spouse, with your kids, whatever it may be, then add that to your calendar as well. So the app is called Structured. I paid for the monthly subscription. I think it's like $2 or something. And trust me, that $2 or however much it costs has really added up because I'm not late anymore. And every time I was late, I was having to obviously take that off my clients' bills. Um, and that's a lot of money out of my pocket for being late for what? There's no need for that. So it's really going to add up in your time. You won't be stressed out anymore, you won't be running around, and you're gonna feel so much better having your day that you pre-planned the night before laid out in a structured app. And it doesn't take very long because let's be honest, a lot of our days are the same from Monday to Friday. Few things will change. So you don't have to program something different every single day. You can put how often it reoccurs. So it's really, really easy. So number 3 is to set up these apps to give you reminders. So like I mentioned, I set up reminders for all of my things. Even when I sit down to do something on the computer, I will set a timer for however long that I want to spend doing that task. Maybe it's 15 minutes, maybe it's 30 minutes. Like this morning, I helped my son declutter his room, but I didn't want us to have to spend the entire morning doing it. It's family day. I wanted to hang out with him. So I'm like, okay, we're going to set 30 minutes on this timer and we're going to get as much done as we can within this 30 minutes. When the timer is up, we're going to leave it for the day and we'll continue another day. And I suggest you doing this for all tasks if you can. Emptying the dishwasher takes like 10 minutes. If it takes you longer than that, then you're definitely scrolling in between and getting distracted. So anytime that I'm also needing to stay focused on something, I also set a timer because I know that every minute on that timer counts towards the task that I'm doing. And if I screw up and I get distracted, it's taking away from me being able to focus on that task that I gave an allocated amount of time for. So it's really important to not just set timers and alarms when you have your tasks, but also during those times that you're staying focused. Lots of time keeping, but there can be times in your day as well where you're not time keeping. Maybe if you're going for a walk, let's say you're going for a 45-minute walk, you can still set a timer, but you don't have to look at your clock the whole time. You can put a timer on it for the end, but you don't have to be looking at it like, oh my gosh, I only have like 5 minutes left. I better hurry up. No, it's so great. Another thing with this 75 hard challenge, if you are interested, well, one, it's free, which is fantastic. But two is that it has to be 45 minutes. You can't race through 45 minutes. You can't do 45 minutes faster than 45 minutes. 45 minutes is 45 minutes. You can't something that I really love about that is that I can't rush through. No matter how fast I run, I still have to do the 45 minutes. So it's such an amazing opportunity to allow myself to just slow down, be present, and allow myself to just go through the entire exercise, workout, walk, or whatever it may be without trying to just rush through it because there's no way to rush through time. Time is time. It goes at the same pace every single day, every minute, every hour, and so on. So it's such an amazing, life-changing challenge. I've almost lost 20 pounds since January 1st, and it's only February 19th. But the biggest thing is that it has changed my life in so many more ways than just weight. Like the weight is just a byproduct of all of that. But I'll do another video at the end of it to talk about my experience in case you guys are interested, because why not share some personal life stuff with you guys too? Because I'm so grateful that you're here listening and watching, and you might as well get to know me on a personal level too. So, how about that? Um, Number 4 is to focus while you're doing your task. So, to prevent you from procrastinating and then to get distracted while you're doing your task, it's really important to stay focused. Something that I read, which was really freaking mind blowing, is that every single time you get into the zone, but then you retract your attention away from it for even just a second to look your phone or scroll or answer an email or whatever, it takes you 23 minutes to regain your focus back. That's absurd. That is a lot of time that it takes you to get into the zone, and then it's so easy to get out of the zone again, and then it takes you 23 minutes to get back into the zone. It's not worth getting out of the zone for any email, any phone call that isn't important right now, any text, any like that someone did on your photo. It can all wait. So by setting a timer, let's say you are choosing to go on your exercise bike for 45 minutes. You're not really going to lose focus when doing your on your exercise bike unless you're following a program that you want to be really focused on, like when you increase the speed or when you include weights and things like that. But let's say if you're working on a really important task for work and you're giving yourself only 25 minutes, well, if you get into the zone and then you get out of the zone, it already takes up your time. You're not going to perform the way that you would have if you would have just stayed focused, stayed in the zone, and didn't allow for distractions to happen. So, number 4 is to turn off all distractions, put things on do not disturb, and set a timer so that you don't allow yourself to deviate from that any task that you're doing. And number 5 is to give yourself time limits. So estimate how long you think each task is going to take. Once you start doing these tasks in a focused way, you're going to get to know yourself and how long certain things take. Like folding the laundry and putting away. How long does that actually take when you take away the TV and your phone and snacking and getting distracted and sitting there looking at the pile, not wanting to do it? Then you realize an hour has gone by. You wasted it. You could have been done by now, but you still have the pile in front of you. I see you because that's also me sometimes. But when you set a timer and you give yourself time limits, it tremendously helps. These things have helped me 10x my productivity. Like, it's absolutely insane. Like I said, I used to wake up at 7, 7:30. Now I wake up at 5, and sometimes my body wakes me up at 4:45, and I'm ready to go. The moment I wake up, I take my progress photo for the challenge, which is something that you have to do every day. So that's instantly right away. I put on my workout clothes, take the photo, and then I jump on my bike for 45 minutes. While I do my bike, I read my 10 pages of my educational book, and then I give myself 20 to 30 minutes to work on my computer, depending on when I woke up, because I really crush that time at like 6 a.m. getting some work done. Then I'll hop in the shower, get ready, and then prepare breakfast, lunch, get my son to school. And I feel like by 8:30 a.m. I've already completed a whole day, and then I still get to go and help my clients just slay their home, declutter and organize it. And then I still have like a whole other day after that. I feel like I have 3 days in one day now just because I've implemented these 5 time management strategies. I'm telling you, it will change your life if you let it. Applying just even one of these, waking up earlier, planning your day the day before, and putting it into a calendar. I used to hate having to run around and being like, "Oh my god, I'm late for this, I'm late for that." It was stressful, it made everyone else stressed, it made everyone feel cranky and overwhelmed, and it's just not a way to start your day or start your week or whatever it may be. And it's also good to teach your kids time management as well. I've always sucked at being on time because I have ADHD, but I don't want my ADHD to be a reason or an excuse as to why I'm late all the time, as to why I can't focus, because there are tools that you can use and learn to combat that ADHD, and it's those 5s that I mentioned. So yeah, I hope that helps you. Please let me know in the comments if you already do any of these things, if you're willing to try out all 5 or even just a few, if time management has completely changed your life, and if so, how. And I would love for you to come hang out with me on Instagram because that's where I spend most of my time. Please hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, as well as if you're listening to on the podcast. Leave a review as well if you want, or send this to a friend who you think really needs help with time management. Maybe it's even your partner. You're just giving them a little nudge saying, hey, maybe you could learn a thing or two from this girl who's talking about time management. Anyways, thank you so much again for watching. I post a new video and podcast every single week. So if you click the bell to receive notifications for every single time I would drop a new video, you won't miss a beat and you will have a much more organized and clutter free life. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.